We are live. Yes, we're live on this lovely Sunday, live and in full effect. And we're about to talk about the importance of image. I love when I enter the stream and there's already a thumbs up. It just makes me feel happy. And I'm gonna guess that that was my girl Caramel Cat, because she's the type to do just that. She's the type to hit you with the like button before you even go live. So thanks, girl. Thank you. So here we are. We're gonna be talking about the importance of image. And we're gonna be talking about the way society, and yes, Caramel Cat, I knew it was you. You're the one. I can always count on you for that thumbs up. Even if I can't see you, I know you've hit that thumbs up button and I appreciate you. I really do. Thank you so much. How have you been, Miss Cat? Good to see you in the stream. Always good to see you. I am just pulling up my notes because I think tonight's topic is going to be a juicy one. And I want to make sure that I am well prepared for it. So I want to make sure I have my notes right in full view. So I'm glad you're doing well. So that I can stay on my salient points of this discussion. And I think it's going to be a good one. So I love my little downtime when I first get started. And it's just me and Caramel Cat. We're vibing, having our girl time. So our post Thanksgiving girl time. So let me just get my notes ready for this one. Yeah, I'm looking forward to having this conversation because I think it's, I think it's something that comes up a lot. As a woman, I think it's something that you really have to delve into. Because the way you're treated in our society is so much based on appearance, because in a patriarchy, that's what happens, especially in one where there's so much misogyny and a lot of times women are viewed as objects. And so because you're being viewed as an object, your physical appearance is going to be the thing at the forefront of how you're regarded and treated. And that being the case, how do you as a girl, young woman, navigate that? Like, what choices are you going to make about the way that you present yourself? And there's almost like there's two schools of thought. There's some people that say, I don't care what other people think. I'm just gonna wear what I want and they can like it or not like it. I don't give a darn. And then there are other people, and I think I'm in this latter camp, that see it as an opportunity to, it's another tool that you can have in your arsenal, because the way that you're treated is so much based on this. I would say use it to your full effect, and by that I mean make sure you're getting the treatment that you want. And so I'm not personally, obviously everyone has their own style and their own sensibilities, but what's more important to me anyway is to meet my goals and get the treatment that I want. So if wearing blue will get me the treatment I want and wearing yellow won't, and yellow's my favorite color, I'm just gonna wear the blue and get treated how I want, and I'll wear yellow at home. You know what I'm saying? That's my logic. But everyone has a different way to approach it, and there is no right or wrong way. It's a personal decision. So we're talking about those personal decisions, the impact of them, and how you weigh the pros and cons before making them. So that's what's going on here tonight. And this will be an interesting live stream because I decided to go on late because last week I generally try and have the ladies and girls chats in the early afternoon on a Sunday. But last week I did it late night, and it was way more turnout late night, which was surprising to me because I would have expected, a Sunday night to be quiet and unattended, but it was booming. So we shall see. We shall see how this turns out. If it's not a great night, then I will go back to doing them in the afternoon. We'll see. But let's see how this plays out. So I'm gonna get a lo-fi back in full effect because I really feel like it adds something. Even when we're having a discussion or when we're doing a stream that's very informational. Oh, when you say, yep, same Caramel Cat, you mean you agree with, tailoring your look to the treatment you want? Your fave soul. Hey, your fave soul. Is this your first time in my stream, your fave soul? If it is, welcome, welcome, welcome. And I'm so glad to have you here. And hopefully this will not be your first and last time attending, hopefully you will subscribe and enable notifications so that you know when I go live and you'll be a part of the tribe, because I'd love to have you. Yes, I go live every single day. It's part of my Live to 2025 campaign. I go live every day and vibe with my subscribers. Sometimes we just have a chill out session like we did last night. And sometimes it's very informational and I share, I share helpful hints and have discussions like we're doing tonight. And tonight is specifically more of a ladies and girls chat, although all are welcome, but the topic is aimed towards women and girls. And we're talking about image and the importance of image and the importance of the way you present yourself and how you make decisions about that. So that's what we're doing tonight. So thank you for coming in. Anyone who's new to the stream, thank you and welcome. Anyone who is one of my regulars like Caramel Cat, or someone who's just been here before but is quiet and has never jumped in the stream, do consider tiptoeing in and saying hello, even if you just want to shout out, because I love interacting with people. Oh good, I'm so glad you like it, your fave soul. Yeah, my channel is all about building community, and I've been going live. This is live number 56 or 57 days in a row. I'm a little loopy. It's been a lot of live streaming, so I can't always keep it straight. But it's been a wonderful experience, and I'm excited to continue with it onward and upward with the live streaming. Okay, so here we go. So I'm gonna like crack open the notes, and I'm just gonna go through, the sort of top 10 points that I wanted to make about this topic, and then just open it up for discussion and Q&A. So that's how we're gonna roll tonight. All right. So the first one is the power of first impressions. And we all know that, old adage, you never get a second chance to make a first impression. And that is so very true, because so much of what people decide about you is, based on their first seconds, literally seconds of interacting with you. And the thing about it is, yes, it's superficial, and we can all kind of bemoan the fact that, it's surface level. You can't really know someone until you talk to them and interact with them. And that is completely true. Yet we are all guilty, if that's the right word to use, of making those snap judgments. And we sort of have to be, because if you look at it, I guess, like from an evolutionary standpoint, you need to be able to quickly determine, is this person safe? Is this person dangerous? You have to make snap judgments in a sense, a little bit. And so some of it is unavoidable. Even if you want to be someone who isn't, judging on the surface, you almost have to, even just for your own safety. So there is that. And beyond just, the safety concern, this is where, things like, this is why stereotypes are so powerful. Because if they're in place, as soon as you see someone, you're gonna have a whole laundry list of assumptions that you're gonna make about them. And you can't even control it, because a lot of it's, it's happening on either a subconscious level, or it's happening on such a instinctual level, because you're sort of like, you've been fed a certain picture of this person based on certain visual cues. And if those visual cues happen, you're going to make those judgments. It's almost involuntary. So, that's why it's so powerful. And that's why for someone like me, I know how powerful stereotypes are. And I know that if you're someone who doesn't conform to them, the world is going to feel really crazy to you, because what will happen is you'll keep interacting with people who are assigning you all of these traits that simply are not correct all the time. And even despite boatloads of evidence to the contrary, they're so programmed that they can't not overlay those judgments on you. So what can you do? Well, one way to mitigate it is to try and present yourself in such a way that you can neutralize as much as that as possible. And I've kind of had to be a little bit expert in this in order to, just navigate this society. Yeah, right. So as a Black woman, like to navigate the society, because, there's all these assumptions that are, I'm walking through the door and I haven't said anything yet, but boy, are those assumptions already laid on top of me. And all I can do is to do my best to kind of neutralize as much of them as possible and not play into them. Now, there are some people that would say, don't try and neutralize them. Don't try and go against type. Just, be yourself, wear what you want, do what you want, be how, basically just throw it all to the side and don't worry about it, and let people, either accept you or not. And I understand that. And I think if you're coming in from a position of power, like if you don't need anything from the world, like if you're if you don't need to be employed by anyone else, if you don't need services from other people, obviously the more independent you are, the more freedom you have and the way that you can present yourself, because you don't have to face any repercussions because you're operating independently. And so, you know, if people don't like it, or if they don't want to, you know, provide X or Y to you, you can do it for yourself. So that's a different position. But for the most part, I think all of us, or most of us, are in a position where we do need things from others in society. Many or the majority of us are in situations where we do need goods, services, and even sometimes income from other people. And so whether it's you're a professional who's running a business or you're an employee, if you have clients or customers or, you know, supervisors or managers, whatever it is, these people are people that you have to navigate, and you have to find a way to cultivate a rapport with them, and part of that is the way you present yourself. So it's important. It has major consequences, and that first impression matters. And so I think a lot of times we have to juggle the idea of like being independent, because our society is very individualistic, where there's this idea of like, if I want to dye my hair blue, I can dye my hair blue. And you know, just because my hair is blue doesn't mean I'm not like highly skilled, or I'm not, you know, a raging intellectual who's capable of all these things. Okay, that may all be true, but we all have to acknowledge that, yes, but if your hair is blue, you're gonna really make it harder for yourself to, you know, be taken seriously, right or wrong. Maybe we shouldn't be judging people by that, but we do, and we all know that. So I'm more of the school of, given that we all kind of know the game that's being played as far as appearance go, and given that we all, for the most part, it's within our capability to tailor the way we present ourselves to get the effect and the treatment that we want, why not do it? Why not see it as just another tool in your arsenal, another weapon that you can use to move forward, advance yourself, and advance your goals, and not be so attached to the way you look? Because on the one hand, it can seem very superficial, like, oh, you shouldn't care so much about how you're looking or how you're feeling. But if you view the way you look as a means to an end, and that means is creating the image that's going to get you the treatment that you want, then it's not so much about vanity, it's more about strategy. And that's what I'm encouraging. I'm saying, be very strategic about the way that you put yourself together and the way that you present yourself, not out of some sense of like vanity or, oh, I have to look so good or X or Y, Z. No, it's about, I want this. If I wear this, I can get it. If I wear that, it's gonna be way harder to get it. Well, let me wear the thing that's gonna make it easier for me to get what I want. And that's gonna vary in every situation. But I mean, if you're going to an office environment, like an egregious example, yeah, the blue hair probably isn't gonna fly. You're gonna have less chances of being hired if you have the blue hair. Or if you're in a, you know, a romantic situation, you want to be viewed as a long-term partner, okay, maybe the like red tight mini dress is not, you know, the thing to be wearing, you know? So I'm just saying we all have to kind of like look at these things and tailor them accordingly. And those first impressions do matter, and you really can't shake them. So at the heart of that old adage is the understanding that appearance speaks loud. It speaks loudly. And especially for women, you know, unfortunately in our society, we are judged probably more on our appearance than any other thing. And the movie, that Demi Moore movie that's out right now, The Substance, that's about women and appearance and aging. It was one of the things that kind of prompted me to go into this subject. I haven't seen the film, but I've heard a lot of talk about it, and I've seen some reviews of it. And I may see it at some point, but right now I'm just in a mode where I'm not really ingesting too much other media, or I'm too focused on what I'm doing. But it did prompt this idea of women and image, and the idea of beauty and youth being held in such primacy, and how that impacts women. So that's why we're having this discussion. Your favorite soul, I'm so sorry, but it's getting late where I live. I have to go, but definitely will be here tomorrow if I have to. Okay, no problem, your favorite soul. And you can catch this on the playback and see it then. And I go live every day. So I hope to see you again. And hopefully next time you're in the stream, we'll have a chance to chat. And if you're interested in this topic, definitely watch the playback. It lives on my channel. Just go to the playlist tab and go to live streams, and you can watch it there. Bye-bye and have a great night. And I know it's late, so I'm probably gonna get my West Coast people, and I understand that. And I may have to start doing the ladies' chats earlier again, but this was an experiment because last week when I did it late, biggest turnout ever. So I was like, let me do it late. But if that was a fluke, we can always go back to doing it earlier. And Caramel Cat smiling. A smiling Caramel Cat is a good thing. All right, so here we go. On to the next aspect of this subject. So the first thing I was talking about is the power of first impressions. And then now, the first impression of your visual appearance. And then the second thing I want to talk about is nonverbal communication matters too. So how you communicate through body language, facial expressions, your posture, even without saying anything, so much is being interpreted and absorbed by people. And I'm someone who notices this a lot too. I mean, I'm a people watcher. Like for me, I'm definitely an amateur like anthropologist of some sort. I love watching people interact with each other, strangers or people that I know. I get so much from just silently, without having the conversation, just observing the body language of people. And I don't know, I find it fascinating, and I think it's very true that more is being said through our movements and our micro expressions than through the words that we say. Because very often those micro expressions and the body language is contradictory to what's coming out of our mouths. So I always look at the body and how the body's moving and the subtle gestures and the movement of the eyes, because I feel like there's way more truth in that. Those things are much harder to lie than words. It's, everyone can lie. I think most people can lie quite easily with words, but it's very hard to mask your real feelings as far as, the look in your eyes and the way your body moves. And like if you have a feeling of revulsion from someone, even if you're telling them you love them, because I've seen it. I've seen a man tell a woman he loves her and his body is moving away from her with revulsion. So the body language is much more of a truth teller than the words. So that's something to be really keenly aware of too, is in the way that you present yourself. And one could say this would make you very self-conscious, but it's almost, for me, and I feel like that's negative. I choose to see it as being extremely self-aware, like having a real understanding of what you're communicating on all levels, not just verbally, but what are you saying with your eyes? What are you communicating with your body language? And making sure that both of those things are in alignment with the image that you want to project. So like if you're wanting to appear like the best candidate in some job scenario and you're wearing the right outfit and you have the right haircut, but then you're slouching and you've got like this like suspicious look in your eyes, that it's gonna undo all of the work you did, in those other two areas. So you have to have a unified presentation. The expression in the eyes, the body language, the posture, all of it has to be congruous with, the hair, the clothes, the speech. They have to work in conjunction, or else the picture is off and then you just seem odd. So that's an important consideration to understand. All right, going back to point number 3 on this topic of image and how it matters, the role of personal style. And this is something that I was trying to address in the first paragraph, the first point I made, which is that it may just be that personal style, thank you, Caramel Cat, it may just be that personal style has to take a back seat to your strategy, because I'm suggesting and urging everyone to use image as a tool, to use image as a way to execute a strategy to get what you want in this life. Instead of seeing it as like, it's my personal style, it's just my whim, I just want to be pink today, or whatever it is. Like, I think there's a time and a place for that. But I think if you're someone who is still in the mode of like, you're in your grind mode, or you're in your, your come up phase, then that's not the time for you to just indulge in your personal style. No, every way that you present yourself has to be in alignment with what you want and getting what you want and how to do that. And so it's important to know when to let your personal style take a back seat to your agenda. And also, there are subtle ways to, embed or imbue whatever agenda you have with your personal style. Like even if you're in a situation where you're going to be quite conservative in order to, adhere to your strategy, you can still find a way within those confines to express yourself. And that's what I would suggest doing, is learning how to find ways within whatever strategy you're employing to impose your personal style, instead of you're letting your personal style speak so loudly that it's drowning out every other thing and maybe derailing your agenda. So that's what I'll say on that. And I'm just going to take a little get the lo-fi going again break, because I almost feel like I vacillate between thinking it's a distraction when I'm talking and thinking it enhances. And I'm starting to think it enhances. So I'm going to put it back in. Yes. And like I said, as soon as I go through these points, I have 10 points. As soon as I get through all 10 points, then we're going to just open it up for Q&A and discussion. So I've just covered number 3, which was the role of personal style. And now I'm on to number 4, the impact of social media. And so all of us have to now be conscious of not just how we are in person and what we, who we present ourselves are in person, but we have to be keenly aware of who we're presenting ourselves as in social media, because rightly or wrongly, everyone you interact with is going to have access to that information. Even if you don't tell them, you have to assume that anyone you meet has interacted with your social media presence, if you have a public presence. So you have to know that and understand that. So anything that you put out there, you need to be very aware of how it's going to impact your overall image, and you need to act accordingly and make sure that it is in alignment with who you want to present yourself as going forward. So I think it's easy, especially for people who are extremely young, to not understand the ramifications of putting things out on social media, which is why I really wouldn't encourage it for anyone who isn't of age, just because it can create a lasting impression that will follow you for the rest of your life. So at the very least, I think you should be an adult who's making their own decisions and has enough foresight to recognize the impact of everything that you put out. And that still doesn't mean you won't make mistakes, but at least you'll be in a position where, you're a little bit more, conscious, and therefore can be conscientious about the choices that you're making and what you put out. So I would just say, gone are the days of thinking, oh, it's just for me and my friends. No, everyone who you will ever meet, you have to assume that they're going to see it. Potential employers, potential paramours or spouses, everyone. So make sure that it is all in alignment with what you want. And obviously there's no way to be perfect about it, but continually curate it so that it is a reflection of whatever goal that you have, is what I would say there. Let's see. Okay, and another thing to consider is cultural and societal expectations. You have to decide how rebellious do you want to be? Like how do you want to, how much do you want to conform to what we know society standards are in order to get what you want? And how much are you ready to, shake off that collar or that, straitjacket, some would call it. Personally, I just embrace what the situation is because I don't feel like I have a power to change it, and I choose to just use it to my advantage. So in every situation, I'm just accepting the rules as they are. I'm not bucking against them, and I'm trying to play within those rules. And I think there's a lot to be gained from that approach, is what I'll say. But obviously, it's an individual decision everyone has to make for themselves. Okay, now this one is key, and we're at number 6. And once I get to 10, I'm going to do a quick summary, and then we'll do Q&A. Number 6 is the link between image and respect. Now, rightly or wrongly, I think we are still in a patriarchy, and we are still constantly dealing with this Madonna-whore dichotomy in the way that women are regarded in our society. So there's a line that you have to walk where, on the one hand, you don't want to be seen as being overly conservative and like prudish, or what's the word, like someone who's judging other people, or who's self-righteous, and so if you look too conservative or too prim and proper, you'll get that label. However, if you're someone who looks like they're too openly flaunting the fact that they're a sexual being or that they are attractive, then you'll get judgment on that side. And so you're constantly trying to walk this that Madonna whore line of like trying to walk the straight and narrow, where you're acknowledging that you're an adult and you are a sensual being, and at the same time you want to have respect and you know, be valued for something beyond your appearance. And it's a very tricky, precarious, complex dance that women are asked to do all throughout their lives, of trying to, you know, play within these very narrow lines. It can be done, and there are obviously women who have done it very well. And one of the things I want to do in the future is kind of feature and do some videos and maybe do some discussions about some women who are, and the word iconic is so overly used and abused, but there are some women who are very legendarily famous for their ability to play with their image and use it to their advantage, to continually shape it, to be very chameleon-like in choosing, you know, how they present themselves. And I think there's a lot to be learned from those women, even if you don't want to follow the path they took, like use the influences that they're sort of paying homage to. There's something to be learned from, like, oh, someone like a Madonna, who very much played with her image, and in the beginning was very much doing like a Marilyn Monroe thing, and then kind of did a Marlene Dietrich look, and she kind of used all of these known iconic images and the meanings of those to then manipulate the media and use it to her advantage, and it can be done. Or you could look at someone like Grace Kelly, who is kind of this known for this, you know, so icy classic princess aesthetic. If they're, you know, so it's an image, and it's a very carefully cultivated and curated one that worked brilliantly, so much so that it's still a part of the like lexicon of the way we think of glamour and women and beauty. Or someone like Audrey Hepburn, and there, you know, I don't want to just use, I want to use people that are not just Caucasian women or just American women, but I'm using the ones that are kind of most known and most celebrated, so that's what ends up coming out. But then I think of someone like a Grace Jones as well, who is completely going against what I'm saying, and instead of using the known existing framework and working within it, just said forget it, and I'm just going to buck the system and create my own entire identity. Now that's definitely a path that only an artist, I think, can walk successfully. Like if you're a musician or an artist or a singer, then yes, you have full you know, carte blanche to play with your image in, you know, extremely extreme ways without negative consequences. But if you're not someone like that, then you're going to have other issues, you know, then you're going to have to tread a little more lightly in the way that you play against type, or in the way that you go against the known looks. But if you take those known sort of classic looks and iconic women, and you use some of those notes, and when I say notes, I mean like musical notes, like there's certain stylistic cues and notes that you can use in your own life that will have that effect, that they will trigger a certain response. So like if you're wearing like the classic little black dress, like a Chanel, and like a little Chanel cardigan, you are going to be treated one way, versus if you're wearing, you know, the skin tight Skims black dress and high heels, you're going to be treated another way. And and there may be occasions where you want the treatment of one, and occasions where you want the treatment of others. But I think it's important to know the difference of what those two treatments are, and how the way you're dressed is going to get those for you, and decide for yourself when it's appropriate to wear either or not wear either, whatever the case may be. I think there are a lot of people who genuinely don't know or don't have an understanding of what's appropriate or what would be considered appropriate in one situation versus another, or don't understand that based on you may be the very same person, but based on the fact that you wore black dress A versus black dress B, people are going to perceive you completely differently, and you're going to get very different treatment in the world. So you need to have an understanding of that, and you can judge it and say, well, they shouldn't treat me any differently. I'm the same person whether I'm wearing this dress or that dress. I'm the same person. I'm just as intelligent. I'm just as yes. And yet we know how this works. We know how, you know, all of these icons and all of these meanings are laid on top of clothing and presentation. And so you have to be cognizant of that. And I say, use it to your advantage, meaning get the treatment you want. Dress not so much to indulge your fancy or, you know, feel creative, but to get the treatment you want. And so if you have a clear understanding about the way you want to be regarded, then you can tailor the way you present yourself to that. And that's what I'm suggesting. So that's what this was about. And I understand that there may be people who disagree with me, but I think that would make for a lively discussion. So hopefully when I round out these points, because I'm on number 7 right now, we can get into such a discussion. So that would be good. All right. Number 7, another point I wanted to talk about was building confidence through image. Because I think once you have a sense of yourself and what you want and how you want to be perceived, and you're comfortable in that, you will you'll carry yourself with a certain confidence that is, how shall we say, not contagious. What's the word I'm looking for? It's a confidence that others will be able, it's undeniable. It's undeniable, and it's something that everyone will be able to just read off of you right away. And that makes all the difference. Because your confidence will speak louder than anything else, than what you're wearing, than any other thing. And confidence affects your physical body as well, like the way you stand. I think confidence affects your posture and everything about you. So it's at the core. And I think if you have a real understanding of why you're presenting yourself the way that you're presenting yourself, and you like the way you're presenting yourself, you're gonna be confident, and other people are gonna read that, and you're gonna be treated accordingly. So there's that. That was point 7. Here comes point 8 of 10. And then, like I said, after I finish making these points, we will jump into a little Q&A. Authenticity versus perception. I think sometimes when you say, oh, use the situation for your advantage, it sounds like, well, that's not being authentic. That's not being genuine. Like, you're being fake. You're not being real. And it's not about that, because what I'm saying is there is no real. Real is going to depend on what it is that you want. So what's real is the treatment you want, and you're going to use image to shape perception to get that treatment to the best of your ability. So it's not about being fake, it's about strategy. And I think smart women and successful women, and we talked about last week some of the habits of successful women, understand the importance of having a strategy and implementing a strategy. And so once you have a goal and a strategy, that takes primacy over any temporary personal whim or how I feel or anything like that. Your emotions are in check, and your strategy, and you lead with your strategy. So that's what I'm saying as far as that goes. And number 9 is how to cultivate an image that aligns with your goals. I think you have to have a basic understanding of all of these different archetypes that are at play in the way that we present ourselves, and they come through in fashion and in film and in art. But there are, several female archetypes that are at work, and you have to maybe understand which of those you identify and align yourself with on an internal level, and then also which ones you want to align yourself with in terms of which ones are going to get you what you want in the world. And if you don't have an understanding what those archetypes are or how they operate, that is something that I can help you with, and it's something that we can go over in future ladies and girls chats. And it's something that I do in my coaching calls. One of the things I do as a transformation coach for people who are trying to change their lives or change their image is talk about these archetypes and understanding how to use them and how to navigate them. So if you are interested in a coaching call, got to plug my coaching calls on my Stan store. If you go to stan.store/my name, you can book time with me, and we can work on image and talk about the archetypes that will define and shape your image, if that's something that you want for the new year. Like if you're going into the new year wanting to change your look or change your life in some way, or change perceptions about you in a physical sense, about your physical transformation, I can help you with that. So just had to put that plug out there. And then the last one, 10, the psychological effects of presentation. This one is interesting because once you're not being emotionally attached to the way that you're presenting, and you're doing it to be strategic, and you start to get results, it has a real momentum as far as psychology goes. It not only makes you feel more confident, but confidence creates this real positive feedback loop where you're feeling more confident. So then people are treating you in a certain way, like they're deferring to you more, they're being more respectful. You're being regarded as someone who is much more on the rise or more successful because you're starting to believe it, and it becomes this like momentum. You're believing it, other people are treating you as that, and then it keeps going. So it's a very powerful endeavor to create your image in a strategic way and live by it, your decision, and see it through. And then, you know, you're always shaping and curating, but the momentum it creates and the possibility for change and for you to actualize all the things you want, it becomes greater and bears fruit. So yes, image is important. It's not everything, but if you're in a stage in your life where you're being very goal oriented, I think it's essential to have an understanding of it, and it's essential to know how to play the game. Even if you don't want to play the game, it's important to know how to play the game, even if you just want to sit it out, because it allows you to make more informed decisions and also to learn from other people and how they're playing it. I find the whole thing fascinating, the way a woman can wear one dress, hair, and makeup and be treated a certain way, and then literally go into her home, take 20 minutes and change her hair, makeup, dress, and outfit, and come out and be treated like a completely different person. So it's very powerful, these little changes, these superficial changes change the way that you're treated in such a profound way that it can literally change your entire life overnight. That's how potent image is. So that was the point of this. Hopefully some of what I was trying to convey got across in those 10 points that I made. And now I'd like to open it up for discussion and any Q&A. So let's talk about it. Maybe I'll put some questions in the stream and see if anyone wants to answer, and I can entice someone to be a participant with me here in the stream, because I really want to. I think this is the one that's ripe for discussion, and a lot can be learned from each other's experience, dealing with this as women. So let's see. I always feel relieved after I get through the points and I can just do this the Q&A part, because truthfully it's my favorite part of the streaming is talking to you guys and seeing how you think. So here's my first question to you. How much do you think your image impacts how you're treated by others? Do you think A, a lot, B, somewhat, C, not much, or D, not sure? So I'm gonna see if I can, let me see if I can put this in here as a poll in the chat. Yes, I'm creating a poll. Okay. Add an option. We're gonna call this A. Or actually, it's not letting me. It won't actually let me create the poll that way. But I'll just ask this question: does anyone here, if you're someone who thinks that the way that your image affects the way people are treating you, let me know, and let me know how. And if you think it doesn't affect it, let me know that too. Like if you agree with the things that I've said about image, let me know. And if you disagree, let me know. Has image effect? Do you think your image affects the way people treat you? If not, and if so, how so? And do you feel moved to change the way that you look or the way that you present yourself because you want different treatment? Is that something that would appeal to you? Or do you feel like, no, I don't care I'm gonna stick with this way that I look, and people can treat it however they want? I'm curious. Anyone? Have any of you ever had a moment where changing your image or how you present yourself led to a positive change, or the opposite? Has anyone had the negative happen? Like, has anyone decided to color their hair blue or purple or something and everyone treated you differently? Or has anyone had the opposite effect where, they did something to the way that they presented themselves and all of a sudden you got way more positive treatment? I know there's so many women that say, oh, when I lost weight, everyone started treating me better and I got, so much more attention and positive, feedback from people that, it was kind of disheartening to see that really all the negative treatment or all the problems I thought I had were just because people were judging me because of my size. Like I've definitely had women say that to me. So I think that's an interesting and a very obvious example of how a change in your physicality can make everyone treat you like a completely different person when on the inside you're the same person. So there's that. Let's see. But yeah, mostly I just want to hear your stories of image, and is there anyone who maybe considered changing it but was afraid to because they were afraid that it was going to change perceptions? Like, has there ever been something you wanted to do to change your physicality, but you were afraid that it would have negative consequences, so it's kept you from doing it? Or is there someone who wants to make a change that they think would be positive, but they don't know how? And if that's the case, why do you want to make this change? What is it? And what is it that you think would cause people to treat you better about this change? Like, I've had women who have said to me, oh, I'm going to dye my hair blonde. Everyone will be nicer to me if my hair's blonde. Or like the weight loss one, or I know if I drop 20 pounds, everyone would just treat me better, which, it's unfortunate to say something like that, but there is that in our society. So these are the kind of things I wanted us to talk about as ladies and girls, and talk about, the struggle, because the struggle is real to navigate all of these things and to try and decide how to present yourself and to cultivate an image that is in some way true to yourself, but most importantly honors your strategy or whatever it is that your goals are in life, and at the same time doesn't burn any bridges for you. Like, you don't want to do anything that's going to block other doors in the future. So it's not so simple. It's a very complex, nuanced dance, being a woman in this modern society and trying to find the right way to present yourself. And I don't think anyone gets it right 100% of the time. And people who do consistently get it right, it's usually because after they're coming from a period of, like, they've had trial and error, and then they sort of found the right lane or found the right presentation. And I think, like, back in, I was like old Hollywood days, they would have their part of their star system was to take the actor or actress and carefully cultivate and curate an image for them. And it would take a team of professionals, sometimes a few years to get it exactly right. And then, let that image play. And from that, a completely memorable and iconic presentation is created. And so it's almost like now in modern life, especially in a modern life where we're all on camera so much and we're all in social media, even if it's just a Zoom call, your image, your visage, and how you're portrayed is such a big part of the way that you interact with society. And so we all have to be cognizant of it, and we almost have to all kind of curate this image for ourselves and create our own, be our own little Hollywood team. Even if you're not someone who's going to be like overtly on camera in a situation like this, you're still going to interact with people in a visual way every day. And it's the components of creating the image that you want are things that you need to know about and understand so that you can make them work for you if you choose to play the game. I mean, even if you're not playing the game, you are playing the game, because people are judging you, and those judgments will have repercussions in your life. So there's that. So anyone who's new to the stream, I go live every day. This is part of my Live to 2025 campaign. I get on every day and I go live for at least 30 minutes. Usually it's more towards an hour, and we're at the 43-minute mark here, and I'll be rounding it out in the hour. So I've got another 17 minutes. If you are new to the stream, you should know that my channel is all about having a positive, amazing life and building community. And one of the ways I build community is to do my daily live streams, where I get in and I talk to my chat stream regulars, and I invite new people to the channel, and some of my new subscribers finally tiptoe into the stream and start dialoguing with me. And my channel started off being mostly about meditation, because I feel like it's the foundation for having all these other positive changes in your life take place. But it's quickly evolved to much more into social commentary, and there's going to be lots of fitness content in 2025. And the daily live streams have kind of evolved into these ladies and girls chats that I do on Sunday, and my guys night out chat that I do on Thursdays. So there's a lot going on the channel, but mostly the channel is a great third space, a place for people to come and hang out and meet and talk and in a positive, non-judgmental, safe way. And I've had people from over 61 countries come to my live stream in the last 57 days and 22 of the United States. So 61 countries and 22 states in the last 57 days of consecutive live streaming. So it's been a wild ride. I love it so much. I've learned so much and I love doing this. So I probably will extend this streak beyond 2025, but I'm committed to go live every day until 2025. So please consider joining me by hitting the subscribe button, enabling notifications on your phone, and also hitting that white bell on YouTube. So subscribe, hit the white bell, and enable them on your phone. Here's all the emojis. Thank you so much, Caramel Cat. Anyone who's just standing by but not jumping into the stream, because the stream has been pretty quiet, but I've been watching all the people viewing. And I have to say, no need to be shy if you're new. I'm a warm and hospitable host, and I will welcome you warmly. So if you have any questions about the topic that I brought up, or if you disagree with me about any of what I said, I would love to know that too. So, jump into the stream and tell me you are wrong, and here's why you're wrong, and I would love to hear it. I'm open to having my mind changed, so don't be afraid to step right in. Or if you do agree and you want to talk about it and share, your experience of, playing with your image, or your hesitation to do so, or your desire to do so, but maybe you're, you need guidance. Let's talk about it. So by all means, I'm up for discussion. I've got on my soapbox. I said what I had to say about the topic. I got off of it. And this is the part that I love the most, where I get to dialogue with you guys. So hopefully you won't all be so shy and somebody will jump into the stream, because that's my favorite part of this thing called live streaming, the stream. So please, someone jump on in. In the meantime, I'm going to hit you with the lo-fi again, because after a long monologue like that, I need to just groove a bit. So I'm going to hit us with the lo-fi at a higher volume, since I'm no longer making points. I'm going to wet my whistle with a little water, and I'm going to encourage someone to jump on into the stream. I assure you, I will be very kind and welcoming. And even if you don't want to talk about this particular topic, you can certainly jump in and tell me where you're from. Because like I said, I do keep track of countries and of states. So if you're new here, let me know. Caramel Cat, thank you for riding with me, Caramel Cat. I've got a bunch of quiet, shy, standing against the wall stream people tonight. Usually I have people that jump right in and start dialoguing with me, but for whatever reason, I've got the quietly observant types tonight, which I'm certainly welcome to have you. A watch hour is a watch hour. Even if you're not talking, you're watching, and that's what's most important to me, is that you're absorbing the content and you're interacting with the channel. So thank you for being here. If you are here and you want to remain silent and stay out of the stream, please consider hitting the like button if you haven't hit it already, because that like button helps boost the channel's profile. And we want this channel to grow, and we want to have the channel fully monetized, in part because it will allow me to control when there's advertising on my videos. And I, for the most part, don't want advertising on a lot of them. And as it is now, there's advertising on all of them. So I would like to have that freedom to take some of the ads off, especially off of the meditation content, because I just think that is abhorrent. So we got to fix that by monetizing this channel. And let's see, I've got another 12 minutes left in the stream. Now, if no one wants to, discuss this image topic, I'm going to talk about my coaching calls and how they are great for someone who wants to change their image. And I'm also going to talk about my guided meditation transformation journal. It's a 6-week transformation that you can do. And all you have to do is go to Amazon.com and put my name into the search bar, and the journal will come up. So you go to Amazon, you put my name in the search bar, the journal comes up. And the journal is a 6-week transformation that you can do that's based around meditation as sort of the foundation for all the other changes that you're going to make. The channel is going to veer off into doing fitness content, and there's also going to be some like fashion and that sort of thing happening on the channel as well, because that's been highly requested from some of the other ladies in my channel, or some of the other subscribers to my channel, I should have said. So before we get to all of that, I think it's important to have the right mindset. And I think the main tool that you can use to cultivate the right mindset is a daily meditation practice. And my guided meditation journal, or meditation transformation journal, 6-week meditation transformation journal that you can get on Amazon by putting my name into the Amazon search bar, is a perfect way for you to take the first steps it's like, it's a 6-week process that will hopefully at the end of it have you having your own meditation practice. But in the beginning, you can meditate with me. There's guided meditations on my channel that you can use as kind of like training wheels for your daily meditation practice. And the journal also has you do morning and evening pages where you reflect and, you learn about yourself. You kind of mind your own psyche and your own emotions, and it's very grounding and very healing. And there's also exercises at the beginning of the journal to help you get clear about what you want and do goal setting and vision boarding. So it's a total package to help you just be that initial push, that initial startup ramp on whatever big change you want to make or small change you want to make in your life. Sorry that I have to go because tomorrow. No problem. Thank you for being here, Carmel Cat. I appreciate you. No problem, Brielle. So glad to have you here. And you see you're wrenched up, Brielle, so I can't miss you anymore. And thank you for being here. And this is I'm on for another 10 minutes. But if you are interested in this topic at all, by all means, all you have to do is rewind, because this will be on as it goes into playback mode. So you could always just grab the clicker back and catch it on playback mode. Or I will see you tomorrow, because I go every day. Yes, and Carol was here too. Right. So I was just letting everyone know, because I had some shy attendance in the stream tonight. People weren't as chatty as they have been as they normally are. So they were just kind of like quietly observing. So after going through all the points about image and the importance of image and how it affects our lives, especially as women, for everyone, but especially as women, I started talking about, the power of having a daily meditation practice and how it can be an amazing tool, an amazing first step for, changing your life. And my journal that is on Amazon. And I forgot to give you the special offer. If you buy my journal on Amazon anytime from now until the end of December, from now until December 31st at midnight, if you purchase the journal, and you get $50 off of coaching call. And if you purchase the journal and you leave a review on Amazon of the journal, you get 50% off of a coaching call. And all you have to do is just send me your Amazon order number. And if you write a review, give me the name for the review, and I will send you back the code so that you can get either $50 or 50% off of a coaching call, depending on whether you just purchased or whether you purchased and left a review. So that's an offer that I'm doing because I really want to do more coaching calls and interactions and introduce people to that process of having someone who's a cheerleader, a coach, an accountability partner, and what that's like and how transformative it can be, especially when it happens in conjunction with having the journal that you're working on, and you're in the stream, and you're part of the channel. So you really get a whole community when you buy the journal, and I want you to feel that. And also, I want everyone to kind of cultivate a daily morning and evening practice. And the journal is, it's kind of like first steps towards that happening. And it's a great foundation for all the other types of personal development changes that the channel is going to focus on, like fitness and goal setting. And so it's a beginning. All right, so I'm at the 52:32 mark. So I've got roughly 7.5 minutes left in this live stream. If there's anyone who's new to the stream or anyone who's just joining, welcome to the stream and welcome to my channel. I go live every single day. It's part of my Live to 2025 campaign to, vibe with my subscribers on a daily basis, create a sense of community, and so far so good, because over the last 57 days of daily live streaming, I've had people from 61 different countries and 22 of the United States in my stream, and we've covered all different kinds of topics. We've had cool, mellow, chill out vibe sessions like last night. We've had more informational, more heated topics and discussions like tonight's girls chat topic and my Thursday night guys night out topic of men and their legacy. So this channel is very eclectic, and the stream is also very eclectic. It has many different moods and many different flavors. It could be a lo-fi lounge, or sometimes it can be a discussion debate table, all different kinds of iterations of the format. But the consistent part is that it's always positive, it's always good vibes, and I'm always a warm, hospitable host who's ready to chop it up and discuss literally anything with you. Literally anything. So even if you want to talk about something that isn't exactly covered on my channel or wasn't part of tonight's agenda, I'm still open to that too. Or if you want to just jump in and talk about how your day was, we can do that too, because I'm always asking every night, honey, how was your day? And honey female or honey male, how was your day? Let me know. Let's talk about it in the stream. This is a place, a gathering place, a third space a place for community and a place for feeling a sense of belonging and feeling a human connection in a world where that is very hard to come by more and more. So that's what this is. It's a warm, safe, fuzzy place to talk about what's happening in the wider world, both good and bad, and have tough conversations in a fun, cool, you know, easygoing environment. So anyone who is looking for that kind of connection or is looking to be part of a community, please consider subscribing. And if you do decide you want to subscribe, make sure you hit the white notification bell and enable notifications on your phone, because I don't always know when I'm going to go live. I go live every single day, but I kind of have to squeeze it into the rest of my life. So I don't always know when I'm coming on. I just jump on. So if you have those notifications enabled, you'll know and you'll be able to join me for my streams. And if you are interested in the topic of this live stream, but you arrived a little late and you're kind of curious about it, I would say rewind it back, because it's going to go immediately into playback mode. So you can rewind it to the beginning and listen to the content. And feel free to, it's content rich, but you could fast forward or slow down, whichever the case may be. Sometimes I have people who don't have English as a first language who choose to listen at like a 1.7 or at a, 0.75, so that they can kind of absorb and ingest it better. So that's always an option. And if you like these live streams, I've done 56 other ones, so you could go to my channel and go to the playlist section of the channel, and there's a daily live streams playlist, and you can look at some of the other ones that were really fun. Some of them are funny and wacky, some of them are cool and mellow them, some of them have heated discussions, some of them I'm battling trolls. There's a lot that goes on and has gone on in the last 56 live streams, so consider checking out the channel and some of the other content there, including some of the past live streams. And if you really want to support the channel, you could just let that live streams playlist play and let me be your background. I say cool things sometimes, and it often is very amusing when I'm dealing with the trolls or I'm dealing with some of my other hecklers in the stream. So consider using the playlist as your, if you're someone who needs people talking in the background to study, or you like to have, like a podcast on when you're cleaning, my live stream playlist is perfect for that. And it's also a great thing to listen to on a long drive. So it could serve that purpose as well. So anyone who's new, thank you for joining me. I've got just over 3 minutes left in this live stream before I hit the hour mark and sign off. So if you're new and you've been shy, you don't need to keep being shy. You could crawl into the stream because I see you there. I would call it lurking, but that has negative connotations. I'll just say that I've had lots of lookers and not a lot of chatters tonight, which is very unusual for me. I usually have a very rockin' stream. So this has been a different one. It felt very like voyeuristic to have so much watching happening without any dialogue, but I'll take it. As long as you're here and as long as you're taking in the content, you are appreciated. So thank you for joining me. I love what I do and I love interacting with anyone. So there's another 2.5 minutes left for anyone who wants to come in and say hello. And I promise you'll get a warm reception if you decide to do so. If not, that's okay too. I'm gonna take another water break, because when you're in monologue mode for an hour, when normally you have people chatting back and forth, you get a little dehydrated. You get a little parched in the throat area. So you need a hydration break. All right, so I've got 2 more minutes left here. Anyone who's still rocking with me, thank you for riding to the end of this wave. I appreciate you so much. I would hit you with another promo from my journal, but I'm too parched for that. So I'll just end with a promo for the coaching call. I'm going to refer you one last time to go to my channel and look at all the links there. You can see, I think the first link is the link to my Stan store, and that will allow you to go to Amazon.com and purchase the 6-week meditation transformation journal. It'll also allow you to download the digital journal, which is it's a savings, and that's great for anyone who doesn't want the analog option and you just want the digital PDF version of the journal. You can get it through there. Or if you want to book time with me, if you want to have a session where we maybe talk about image and how you want to change yours and how you can do that, or you want to talk about goal setting for the new year, or you want to problem solve about something that's been on your agenda for a long time but you haven't been able to have a breakthrough with, we can do all of those things on a coaching call. And I do both phone coaching calls and Zoom calls. So, and you can book both of those directly from my Stan store. You can book time and you can put in the payment information right there, and book it, and you'll be all set, and you'll get a confirmation email. So consider both of those options. And if you do decide to buy the journal, either in its analog form on Amazon.com or in its digital form on my Stand store, you get $50 off of a coaching call. And if you decide to review the journal after purchasing it on Amazon, you will get 50% off a coaching call. And so all you have to do is just, get your order number down and the name on your review, and you email me those, and I will email you back with a coupon code so that you can book a coaching call at a discount. And if you, again, want to purchase the journal directly from Amazon, all you have to do is go to Amazon.com, put my name in the search bar, and the journal will come up. So that's going to do it for me. In 4 seconds, I will have hit the 1 hour mark, and I will be signing off of this live stream. Boom. We just landed at an hour. So I'm going to say goodnight. Thank you so much to everyone who was here. Thank you so much to everyone who rode with me through this whole stream. Hopefully there was a lot here, and if you missed anything, this will live on the channel. It'll go into playback mode immediately, so you can rewind and see anything you missed. Or if you want to check it out tomorrow, maybe it's a little late for you and you want to check it out when you're feeling more fresh, it will live on the channel, and you can find it under the playlist tab or under the live streams tab on my channel. So again, thank you so much for spending Sunday night with me, or whatever part of the day it is for you on this day. And I will see you tomorrow, because I live stream every day. So subscribe and hit notifications so you know when I go live. Thank you. Bye.